Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We get a list of 21 properties. We're going to start off with the quiz answer. So if you remember, we profiled a horse yesterday and we said, who's the cartoon horse that we profiled during 30 Heslop number 30? And guess what the horse's name is? 3030. Cartoon Braveheart. Eyes of a Hawk. Very cool. 21 listings today, and we have the first one at 318 Laurie. It's at 274.9. It is a separate, looks like a separate detached single car garage on this one. That does tend to open the floor plan up a bit. It looks a bit dated. If you look at the photos, you've got wallpaper, wood siding, smolder tile. I have seen these homes that when people come in, if they've been kept well, even though the stuff is old, it can really win off on charm if it has pride of ownership. And I've seen a lot of times where buyers have gone to maybe a less renovated place, but it's been cared for well, and that one wins over a more upgraded place, but it's really been beat up and not been taken care of well. So we've got maintenance fees $285, includes cable, it looks like, based on this listing. I'd have to verify that with other listings, and of course you can call the property manager, which is Wilson Blanchard, and find out for yourself, or get a great agent to do it for you. But you're paying your heat and hydro on top of that, and it's actually a pretty reasonable maintenance fee considering what's included. You can walk to a lot of things from here: food basics, food port, pizza, Tim Hortons, that kind of stuff. Even grab a Dairy Queen in the summer. Wise Crossing is $377.5. It's a Mattamy Amos Burry, so it's 1130 square feet, hardwood floors. Nice finishes here. One of my favorite parts about this home, there's a garage entry there, but one of my favorite parts is up here. That's normally a big piece of, it's a half wall with drywall, but they've opened this up. That's going to allow a lot more light coming in off the bedrooms. It's going to really enhance the appearance on this one. Only one full bathroom upstairs, and you have a master with a walk-in closet. So those two doors, one goes to the walk-in closet, the other goes to the ensuite bathroom, which is shared with the hallway. Overall, I think the price is great on this one. Mott Lane is $393.9, and so originally I thought it was a front-back townhouse. I'll describe that in more detail in just a second. The photos are a bit blurry, but you can see better shots on the virtual tour. And the last point I'll mention about this one is when you look at 1,900 square feet of living space, normally when we talk about square footage, it's the upstairs part. It doesn't include the garage, but it includes closets, stairs, that kind of thing. And it's measured halfway into the wall officially. But when we talk about living space, that usually includes the basement. So you can see the measurement here, assuming it's a square room, 20 by 20, so maybe 400 square feet downstairs, which in a home this size seems about right if it's fully finished. And then you've got about 15 left for the rest of the house. And if you look at the measurements here, if you've seen enough listings, you'd start to say, hey, it seems to sound like it's the right dimensions. So anyway, that's a little bit about square footage. Gaisley Circle is a croft side. It's an inside unit, but it does have the all brick, and anybody who's had the wood version of this will tell you it does require maintenance. And it looks like it has one parking spot in the driveway. Very open concept layout, very popular model. They've done the extended upper above the fridge, which is handy to grab stuff, and it gives you a little bit more storage, and then the pantry beside. And California shutters, looks like it's been kept well. Not sure how much grass is there, but $399 is kind of the norm to price these at, it seems like lately. 15 Side Road is the next one up. It's at $399. It's on 1.15 acres, so right away, I think that's pretty good territory. You also, it says there's no garage, but it looks like there's some kind of a building here. I'm not really sure the purpose of that building. According to the listing, it's electric baseboard, and there's been some redecoration involved with this home. You're not going to get a crazy gorgeous house in this price range. It's a 2-bedroom home. Overall, though, I've got to figure the value is definitely there. I mean, this could be a home that the age might indicate that it anything before World War II, just like we talked about in previous episodes, is you have to really examine it through different filters than a modern home. And I like it though. I mean, just the price point to me is exciting, and I think there's definitely an audience of people who are looking for a rural home under 400K. So Manly is a front back home. You'll see them along Main Street, and you also see them on Thompson. So this is the front of the house. I think it's actually quite appealing. I would take the ones on Manly over some of the other ones that exist. That's what you see on the other side. So you're facing Thompson. You have a door here, you have a door on the other side. So that's why I call them front backs, because what side's the backyard, really? They've got fenced-in yards on the other side, but you got a 4-lane road right behind you there, and that, to me, is one of the tricky things about these homes, is that you get a lot of noise from the road. I love the location because you're right close to the GO train, you're close to Starbucks, there's a lot of things that you could walk to, the library, the leisure centers there, so go for a swim, take an exercise class. And at 400K, with a finished basement, look at this kitchen. It's an amazing kitchen. You've got the built-in cooktop, built-in oven. I think for that reason alone, it's certainly playing a very, very reasonable game. I think it stacks up extremely well against Mowat, and I bet it doesn't last very long. Despite the busy road, everything else checks out on this one. 58 Laurie is at 419. It's a link home, so that could mean a little bit more like a semi. It could be a little bit more like a detached. It's somewhere in between those two, usually linked by a non-interior wall or a basement wall. And so I don't have any pictures to go by, but I do like all of the upgrades that we're seeing in the description here. So shingles 2009, they should give you at least 15 years. Light fixtures is not a difficult thing. Typically we're looking at windows, roof, furnace, and AC are the big four that typically cost some money. Evans Terrace is 417.5. Semi-detached with a finished basement and a pie-shaped lot. That's a lot of good features for 417 in a semi, so I think they're going to be just fine. California shutters, nice looking kitchen, and that basement. Look at that lot too. I think this one's probably going to sell in competition. I think it's going to sell extremely fast, and I recommend jumping on it quick. So give us a call if you want to see it. We're at 905-693-9346, and Harwood is at 419. Decent competitor to the previous one. If it wasn't for the previous, I'd say this one is probably one of the stronger deals. However, I think that the previous beats them hands down, and still a very nice looking home. You're not far from Trudeau Park, from Harwood Park. Great location here too. Easy to get on the highway. Watch for a new roof, because it's coming up soon if they haven't done it. I mean, that neighborhood is filled with homes that are in that transition point between their first and second roof. Ambrose is 425. It's a Linwell end, so it's 1681 square feet. Looks like it's an end based on this angle here. And a little bit more plain inside, no hardwood floors. The kitchen looks decent but not spectacular. And I would say this one is in a good place. They usually sell for around this range. The part that's not in the photos, it looks like they've got a rec room and a playroom downstairs, and that could be a nice little value-added feature. Johnson is 429, 1,500 square feet. So a little bit smaller than the previous, but they've got a bit of wainscoting here. They've got the iron pickets on the stairs, some crown moldings, the sliding doors with a little bit of privacy, but it still lets the light in. Very open concept layout. It's actually a lot like the Croft side, but it's a lot bigger. And you've got your laundry upstairs. They did the moldings in the bathroom. Moldings in a bathroom usually indicate a home is going to show pretty well. And so they could get this price. I've seen this. It's a little small for what we see townhouses sell at 430, but it also looks like it's got the features that people like. So McGurn is 484.8. Most of the recent sales for these types of homes have sold for less than this, but they don't come along very often. So it's a detached home. It's 3 stories, doesn't have a backyard. It's got a double car garage with a patio above. And so if you need backyard space, it might be difficult, but you're getting a detached double garage for probably a lot cheaper than what you can find in most places. Now, it looks like it faces the park from the balcony. and they've got a jacuzzi tub in the master. That's your main floor, so you do have actual main floor living space, which some people use as an office. I've seen it used as a daycare. There's a lot of, it's a real multi-purpose room. Exercise room is another common thing we see. And 44.8 might happen, especially with that park. You got to figure they get between 10 and 20,000 for that park as a premium. This one on Lederman is 489. It's the same model, I believe, as what we saw yesterday, 1,600 square feet. Although when you read the square footage, it says 11 to 15, so it's possible it's the Plan 2, not the Plan 3, in which case it'd be a little under 1,400 square feet. Hardwood floor on the main level. And yeah, Bell 5 connection every room. I look at that and say, yeah, I could do that myself. It's not a big deal. So if it is the Plan 2 and it's a little smaller, they may be a little bit on the high side. But I think a Plan 3, if it's nice, it should be good. 292 McDougall is 519. It's about 1,800 square feet, 4 bedrooms. And it looks like they've got a rec room downstairs, hardwood floors, upgraded light fixtures. I like the dormer windows. I think that's a neat place to put a kid's desk or a little play area in addition to the room. And yeah, so they partly finished it. I don't know if that's carpet or concrete. It looks like carpet based on some of the vacuum marks that you see right here. And oftentimes that's good enough for kids. If you just want a place where the kids can boot around, play video games, or just, you know, do some art and play with toys, that can be an ideal space. Azleton is 531. It is just under 2,000 square feet. Pretty standard, nice layout. Living, dining in the front, family and kitchen in the back, and then you've got laundry upstairs with four bedrooms. So seems okay. I mean, we've seen a few of these sell up in the 530s around that size. A little bit more common to see something a little more into the 2000s. Joyous is 554. 55 by 117 foot lot. There's definitely a gravitational pull under 500 in this neighborhood. I mean, has it happened that we've seen 5 and even in some cases 600,000? Yeah, we have. They've got a nice kitchen here. My first gut reaction to this one without seeing it in person is that it may be shooting a little bit high. But with that kitchen, it might show really well in person. Costigan's about 2,400 square feet, 599. And there's not a lot of shots here. The big thing you're getting with this one is you're getting about a $50,000 custom design, no maintenance deck. The thing about landscaping, it's the same as a pool. You can spend 50 grand on a pool in a heartbeat. How much do you get back? It really depends on what buyers are looking for at that time. Most landscaping is generally classified in about a 20 to 30% return on investment. So if you spend $10,000, you might get 2 or 3 back. That's based on studies done from the Appraisal Institute of Canada. Yeah, so it's tough. I mean, for the money that they spend, they may not get all that back. There's no shots of the inside to really go by. This one on Robinwood is 623. Doesn't really even have a garage, so this definitely seems high to me. And they've got a lot of shots of the outside, but they don't have anything inside. They've done some description in here too about having an in-law suite, and beyond that, it seems very, very high. It's a nice street, quiet street, big driveway there, so obviously you could fit a lot of cars. Anything over 6 on Robinwood would greatly surprise me. When I see an even number on Fox, I know we're in for a treat, and so we go through the home. Seems okay. The kitchen looks nice. They've upgraded the countertops, but that's it right there. So you've got a nice forest behind, a big lush forest, and a decent sized lot, about 45 by 95. Looks like some upgraded floors upstairs, and no finished basement. Yeah, basically the forest. There was one just down the street that's around the same size that sold with a walkout. This one looks like it's slightly better finished, but that one sold in the mid-6s, so they're probably not that far off. It'd really depend how it shows in person. Guelph Line is $799, about 10 acres on this one. And for the outbuildings, for the charm of this one, it compares with something like the one on 25, just north of 15th. I think that one's around the high 7s too. There's a couple other ones on Guelph Line around this price point. It doesn't look like a super fantastic deal, but it does look like it has a lot of charm. And the last one on the list is Random Acres, about 4,200 square feet, no finished basement. Very nice finishes inside. About 2 acres that this one's on. Same thing, doesn't seem like a deal, but in this price point, sometimes the biggest challenge can be the financing, because once you cross $1 million, you gotta have 20% down. You could buy a home for $995, and you could put 5% down. You go up to $1.5 million, and it's like you're, 20%, sometimes even more. Sometimes lenders will ask for 30, 35, 40% down. So the down payment can be the limiting factor. And I know some people think that somebody buying a $1.6 million house, they probably pay cash for it. You'd be surprised. So it can the audience can be narrowed actually by the new financing rules that came out in I believe it was July. I think July last year, maybe the year before. So anyway, it's a beautiful house. We tend to see a little bit more once you pass 1.5 million. You're starting to see, above 5,000, above 6,000 of total living space on similar size properties, but it's got some great finishes. So you really got to go see this stuff in person. If you have any questions, give us a call, and we'd be glad to help you. And my name is Chuck, and thanks for watching Milton Daily Homes.